Hi guys, AzureAce here and I am back with another Danganronpa 3 Future Arc episode discussion, as today I will be covering episode 7, Ultra Despair Girls. And if you didn't get that title alone, yes, we got a special episode dedicated to our Ultra Despair Girls, Toko and Komaru. It was alright. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. I'm just surprised that they stopped all the momentum that episode 6 built up at the end just to kind of take a break and give Komaru and Toko some screen time after doing so well with that momentum. They were doing okay like during the early stages of this anime, but it just started to gradually get better, and now they're taking a break to kind of ruin that momentum. I will say that I may possibly get things wrong, like, you know, translations and interpretations and such, because I haven't had a chance to watch the subs twice, which is what I normally do with these discussions, just so I can completely get the subs and my thoughts down, because I had to watch it raw at first because Funimation had delayed the episode, and as of the recording of this video, the subs from Funimation still are not up on their site, meaning I have to watch possibly inaccurate fan subs, but nevertheless it's time to get into the episode. The episode begins with Monika in this general outfit, and she's preaching out to an army of Monokumas about how Naegi and his hope was enough to beat Junko and in despair, and she's crying about it and things like that. And we see this super poorly drawn picture of Junko in the background, probably by Monika, but she proclaims that despair is not dead and that she, as the second coming of Junko, will destroy the Future Foundation and plunge the world into ultimate despair. We then switch to a scene in a hotel or a motel or some sort, and we get a little glimpse of the remnants of the Warriors of Hope for a little bit, with Nagisa telling Komaru about how the area that Monika is at is heavily guarded by Monokumas and that they are in no position to try and get to Monika, and asks that Komaru and Toko don't hurt her despite everything she did to them in Ultra Despair Girls. We then cut to see Komaru and Toko in action, and man does it feel good to see them in action again. Komaru is just a completely changed character from Ultra Despair Girls. She's just running into the crowd of Monokumas just all Rambo style with the megaphone hacking gun, with Toko trying to keep up. She has a little monologue about her backstory, which is nice for the people who haven't played Ultra Despair Girls. She was kidnapped after Naegi went to Hope's Peak and while he endured the first high school mutual killing game, and that now while she's in Toa City, she fights alongside Toko, where we get to see Toko tase herself, and finally we get the return of our other personality, Genocider Sho or Genocide Jack, whatever you guys prefer. I prefer Genocider Sho. I've missed her so much, one of the most interesting characters in Danganronpa 1, and she just slices all the Monokumas up, then proceeds to make fun of Komaru and call her fat, which is just, it's hilarious. I love the chemistry between them both. Sho does kind of break the fourth wall a little because Komaru keeps going on with the backstory, and Sho comes in like, you can see the rest online, which is brilliant. Didn't expect that at all. Where they then get surrounded by Monokumas. We then see this weird fantasy from Toko, and it has that 90s anime vibe to it. Byakuya is riding up in a car, and Toko has this really tight dress on that you would never see Toko in, and where they have like 18 kids. And they basically have sex right in front of them and this chibi Komaru. Toko is just no words at all. It's actually kind of funny because Byakuya does kind of feel like Toko is having this perverted fantasy about him, and he's just wondering what Monika can really be after, since the remnants of despair are so inactive due to them being on Jabberwock Island, and the majority of them being dead, with Byakuya ending that the Future Foundation will not fall as long as he is there with them. We switch back to Toko and Komaru, who have arrived at Toa Tower. I think it's Toa Tower, it might be a different tower. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, please correct me if I am. And they're faced with yet another large group of Monokumas. Monika goes on about how hope and things like that are disgusting, and that maybe she should just leave or destroy the world since it rejects her for being despair. Toko and Komaru break into this large dark room with a light switch on, and Monika appears in front of them on the screen, giving Komaru and Toko this whole spiel about how despair will defeat hope and that due to Naegi's hope she was able to become an even more perfect version of Junko. All these robots start to turn on, and if I'm not mistaken, all these robots are actually Nagisa, Masaru, Kotoko and Jataro's robots from Ultra Despair Girls, and all these Monokumas surround them and they're completely done for. There's no way they're going to get out of that. There's no even enough chance for Sho to take on all these enemies with this really intense music. But then it stops and Monika says, okay, I give up, with her saying that in the end Hope's gonna win anyway, so what's the point in her trying? She then explodes all of the robots, which just left me like, what? I'm so confused, what just happened? They then find this weird Monokuma van, and inside it Monika is just sitting playing video games. She says that she's done with the whole hope and despair thing because she's bored of it now, and just like I predicted, Monika confirms she is not the mastermind of this killing game. I told you guys she wasn't the one behind this all, and that she has absolutely nothing to do with the killing game at all, so it's likely she just got caught up in it by accident. She just wanted to see Naegi up close, and she also confirms that she was the one who played the prank on Naegi by putting ketchup on Asahina and putting the fake knife on her. She confirms quite a lot of things, as she also confirms that she was the one who killed the real Miyaya Gekugahara. The reason why she's giving up on despair is because Nagito turned her into an adult, and because all he did was ramble on about hope and despair, she didn't want to turn out like him. Komaru does ask who's behind this, but Monika says that she doesn't know. But what she does know is something utterly insane. She says that someone from the 78th class, so our Danganronpa 1 class, will die because of Naegi. And she knows who it will be, but she won't say it and tells them to Google it. Monika then presses a button and all these Monokumas come out of nowhere, but not to attack Komaru and Toko, but to be used as a jetpack for Monika's van, who literally gets rockets out of their ass, which is so weird. But Monika said she's done with Earth, so she's going to become a NEET in space, which is, you know, not in education, employment or training. She then takes off, however Sho and Komaru jump onto the van because Sho wants to know who Naegi will let die, but Komaru says if they don't jump now they're going to die if they jump anytime after, so they both jump off, leaving Monika to escape. They do successfully land on the ground thanks to the help of a big sheet and linked Monokumas. We then finally get back to the Future Foundation building with Naegi, Asahina and Miyaya, where Miyaya starts to kind of move around, and then a voice comes through the monitor saying that Miyaya is a fake, and what do you know, Komaru establishes a link with them. This obviously makes Naegi really happy to see his sister after so long, but the cheeriness does not last long as Komaru tells Naegi that someone is going to die because of him, and that it's going to be someone from his class. Toko tells Byakuya the same thing, and he obviously feels that it's impossible. Asahina says that Toko, Byakuya and Hagakure are safe since they're on the outside, which I don't personally believe. I think no one's safe from anyone in this anime. I've said that ever since the beginning. Either Asahina or Kirigiri might die. They're probably the more likely ones to die. So be prepared for that happening, because that's going to be utterly heartbreaking if one of them actually die. We then switch to Kirigiri very quickly, and she hears something outside the room, footsteps, as the final scene we cut to is Munakata walking down the hall with a katana in his hand as the episode ends there. Now for my overall thoughts of this episode, and like I said before, it was a very average episode. Very meh, wasn't good, wasn't bad, it was kind of in the middle. It just kind of broke the flow of the momentum in this arc. I thought that they'd continue their momentum from the last episode and just have little snippets here and there of Komaru and Toko going after Monika, but oh well, you win some, you lose some. But it's setting up a very crazy episode for next week, or just an episode in the very near future. The fact that someone is going to die, and it's going to be someone in the 78th class, and it's going to be because of an action of Naegi, is a very scary notion to have known. Will he fail to persuade Munakata? Will Asahina or Kirigiri risk their lives for Naegi? Or maybe, just maybe, the timer will go off and Naegi will wake up as the attacker and have to kill Asahina or Kirigiri. That is, if Tengen really did say the attacker alternates. Maybe the true mastermind behind this is trying to drive Naegi into despair, trying to turn him into an ultimate despair, because I've seen little moments where Naegi just breaks down and looks like he's falling in despair, first with the Asahina prank, then with the Kirigiri nightmare, then with finding that Tengen is dead, and surprisingly not just Asahina kept him in hope, Monika kept him in hope as well. Now I wonder if that Monika is gone, maybe Komaru will take over control of Miaya. I think that would have been a very awesome thing to do to keep Komaru and Toko relevant for the rest of this anime. But nevertheless, that's all for this episode. It was average at best, however, has set up a potentially amazing and heartbreaking episode, as we still only have 10 survivors remaining. But nevertheless, if you guys like this video, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. Share this amongst your friends. I've been AzureAce, and thank you for coming to the video.
It is I, Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans, and you're watching AzureAce. Subscribe for more content like this one.